SKA St. Petersburg in the KHL has a little bit of a break. They don't play until Thursday, which means that all the videos that we make about Ivan Demidov, Montreal Canadiens' top prospect in this time, will be up to date in terms of the numbers and everything in between. Now, I wanted to make this Demidov update video because of some statistics that were posted on the Montreal Canadiens subreddit, and they kind of illuminate the differences that you could start to bring up and flesh out at this point in time. When you compare Demidov to the Russian in Philadelphia, who is scoring a bunch of goals and who is going to be given the keys to the car, of course, we're comparing Demidov to Matvei Michkov in this video, because we had ourselves a few extra games played by SKA St. Petersburg. There are some numbers that we can analyze, and when you compare this to Michkov, things look really, really good. So, at this moment, Ivan Demidov is up to 8 points in 10 SKA St. Petersburg games, on pace for about 54 points in 68 games on the year. He's got 4 goals and 4 assists, so he's on pace for a 27-goal, 27-assist season. Very, very good numbers for a guy who is only 18 years old. If you take a look at the production rates here of Demidov, you'll see that he's been playing for SKA St. Petersburg in a pretty limited role compared to what you would expect out of a guy who is at this amount of points. Yes, he has scored a point in 2 straight games, and he had the 4-point game against the HK Sochi club earlier on Thursday 2 weeks ago. But when it comes to Demidov and his ice time, let's just go out there and look at the numbers here. Against the Kunlun Red Star, he had 7 minutes time on ice. What's up with that, Roman Rottenberg? Seriously? Against the Severstal Cherepovets, he had 13 minutes. Against Avangard Omsk, he had 10 minutes. Against Torpedo, he had 11. Against Sochi, he had 16. That's the 4-point game that he had. 16 minutes time on ice over there. Against Lada Togliatti, he had 13 minutes. Against Traktor Chelyabinsk, he had 14 minutes. Against Lokomotiv Yaroslavl, he had 10. And then Lada Togliatti, this first game of the year, he had 13. And then Metallurg Magnitogorsk, he had 14. So he has had a high in minutes per game of 16 and a low of about 7. And if you averaged everything out, you did the most common number. He's getting, let's say, 12 to 13 minutes time on ice a game. And if you know how hockey works, you know that 12, 13 minutes isn't really much for a forward who is producing as much as he is. I mean, if you go over to SKA St. Petersburg, Ivan Demidov is literally the 3rd overall guy. He's tied for 2nd in points on the team, and his ice time is significantly less than a lot of the other guys near the top of the forward lineup. I mean, just looking at the most recent game against the Kunlun Red Star, yeah, he had 7 minutes time on ice. What's up with that? You have some of these other forwards here on the team that had 21 minutes, for example. Mikhail Vorobyev had 21 minutes. Mikhail Grigorenko had 18 minutes. Marat Kyrulin had 18 minutes. Sergei Plotnikov, almost 18 minutes too. Ivan Demidov has been playing so little compared to all of his top-tier teammates. And the best part about it is, if you compare and contrast the numbers to Matvei Michkov, it actually looks really good. Take a look at this post made by Slow Swordfish 6724 in the Arhab subreddit from yesterday. Simple Demidov-Michkov comparison. This post is on September 29th, 2024, and it says this. Matvei Michkov in the KHL at 18 years old had 48 games played, 19 goals, 22 assists for 41 points, was a -6 and had 17 minutes of time on ice per game, getting a .85 points per game. This was when Michkov was loaned over to Sochi in his draft +1 eligible year. Okay, great. Ivan Demidov, also at 18 years old for SKA St. Petersburg, has 8 points, 10 games, +7. He's got 12 minutes and 33 seconds of time on ice per game, and he is at a .8 points per game. Small sample size for Demidov, but I thought it would be fun to compare their draft +1 years so far. Hopefully this will make us feel better about the recent events. Line A and Reinbacher. Of course, yeah, that kinda sucks. But when it comes to these numbers, not only is Ivan Demidov neck in neck with point per game numbers with Matvei Michkov, but he's doing so in about 5 minutes fewer time on ice. You also got to remember that Michkov was playing on HK Sochi that kind of needed him to be the best player on the team and outproduce everybody and get a lot of offense going, so they really relied upon him. If you head over to Michkov and his game log of KHL games from 2023-2024, you'll see that it was a pretty common occurrence for Matvei Michkov to get 15, 16, even towards the end of the year, he had a 21-minute game. There were 17-minute games there, 19-minute games for HK Sochi. Matvei Michkov was relied upon a lot. He actually hit 20 minutes multiple times throughout the 2023-2024 season, and it's not even really close. I mean, the guy is just playing so much more, or he was playing so much more with HK Sochi compared to what Ivan Demidov is being given in SKA this season. It really gets you thinking. For example, if Ivan Demidov was loaned out to Sochi in the same way Michkov was, would Demidov be producing more points? Like, if he's getting 0.8 points per game at 12 minutes, if you do the math on that, okay, let's do some proportional reasoning here. In order to figure out how many points per game Demidov would have if he was getting 17 minutes time on ice like Matvei Michkov did, we can do 0.8 multiplied by 17, and then divide that by 12, we would see that Demidov would be getting about 1.13 points per game if you upped Demidov's time on ice per game by 5 minutes. Now, of course, that is just hypothetical, it's just a mathematical equation. It says, oh, he's getting 0.8 points per game per 12:33 time on ice. Well, if you do the math, he would have had 1.13 if he would have more minutes. So do 1.13 times that by 10 games, and Demidov maybe would have been at 11 points on the season instead of 8 had he been given higher minutes. Yeah, this is all hypothetical, but it is really great to think about, in my opinion, just acknowledging that the guy is producing so much more. And I think the comments even go out there and talk about it. Yeah, here. So far, Demidov is at 3.82 points per 60 in his D+1 year. And Michkov had 3.04 points per 60 with Sochi in his D+1. So far, so good for Demidov. He's having a very good start with third-line minutes. And even further to that point, this comment from Dextera says, I would imagine Michkov was used on first power plays as well. Demidov is lucky to see ice time during power play too. Michkov had 2 minutes and 55 seconds per game of power play time. Demidov has 1:01 so far. Now, there is a little caveat to that. You could say, okay, firstly, it's better that Michkov is getting more minutes, so there's more opportunity, but at the same time, you could also debate that Demidov is playing with better players, like Evgeny Kuznetsov, for example, Anthony DeAngelo. So, while it is true that Michkov had more opportunity, you could very well say that Demidov had better surrounding teammates to set him up, so I think it kind of goes both ways, right? But at the end of the day, both of these guys are young, talented pieces that are going to help out their NHL teams for years to come, and for now, the conversation as to point production in the KHL is just getting a lot more interesting. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. How do you feel about Ivan Demidov's overall point production, and how does this compare, in your opinion, to what Matvei Michkov was able to accomplish in his KHL year last season? Do you think Demidov is as impressive or more impressive than Michkov? Just going over the numbers here, Demidov does have a better points per 60, and if you mapped everything out, the numbers are in his favor, but Michkov was playing with a worse team, but getting more ice time. What does that mean to you? What do you think this means for the long-term future, and how do you think this affects the way Ivan Demidov's rest of the season will end up going? He's only played 10 games, he's got like 60 more to go. But when it comes to the way everything's gone out so far, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.